Hello everyone, Hawaii Fabo here. It's been a while since I've done an update on the tank, and with the move coming or fast approaching, I thought I'd do one last update on the tank because I'm absolutely loving it right now, and I thought I'd capture this before I put it through the stresses of moving. So in a nutshell, no new fish have been added. The only thing that I've added is a couple shrimp. One of them's a new cleaner shrimp. I think this is actually the original. I'm not too sure where the smaller guy is. Normally they are following each other all over the tank, so I've added a second cleaner shrimp because I just wanted to see if I could get a shrimp that would actually clean the fish. I thought that would be kind of cool to have. This guy doesn't seem to want to do it, so that was my thought process behind that. And I also added a couple peppermint shrimp, which unfortunately we're never going to capture on the video because they're always hiding. They've been in the tank a week now. The main reason for me getting the peppermint shrimp was to see if we could put a bit of a dent in the Aptasia that I've seen growing in the tank. This is the first piece of Aptasia that I just never seemed to be able to get rid of. I even took scissors to it and cut the head off, and it's still grown back, and since then I've noticed a couple other little heads popping up here and there, so I picked up 4 peppermint shrimp in an attempt to see if I could get that fixed. I'm pleased to say that the rose bubble tip anemone, who was knocking at death's door a few weeks ago, or months I should say, appears to be making a pretty good recovery. I'm not going to say he's fully recovered yet because he's not as large as he was when I first got him, but he's definitely headed on the right track, and I think he looks absolutely spectacular right now. The other bubble tip, doing okay, just not looking as nice as this guy. But still, I do like my rose bubble tip anemones, and I still very much would like to get a green rose bubble tip as well. Added a couple new zoas to my zoa garden. I'm absolutely loving my zoanthids lately, as you guys can probably tell. At the back here I have a cluster of blue zoanthids. I'm going to move those to another position. They were new a couple days ago, so I wanted to get them into the shade and acclimated to the lights, but they will be taking more of a front role in my zoa garden as it develops. I also picked up one other coral, and that was a torch coral. This one is kind of a purpley blue, where in comparison to the green tip torch coral, both really nice additions, and I think this section here I'm basically going to fill up with hammers, torches, frog spawns, and maybe a couple other Duncans as well. So that's going to kind of be my SPS central there. The neon candy canes are taking off brilliantly. My thought process is from basically my finger, that the line I'm drawing there, and back is going to be taken up with the neon candy canes. So this entire side face here is a bit distorted there because the glass is going to be all neon candy canes, hopefully. So I've been able to take a couple frags here and there and scatter them around that rock, and they're looking really nice, really healthy, really full. So really happy with how those guys are doing. That's basically it on the coral and fish front. I wanted to share with you guys a bit of an emergency I had yesterday, and I have to say I'm very lucky that I was here in the house, because if I wasn't, it could have been a game changer. I recently put in this sponge and this biomedia, which will be part of my quarantine tank filtration. And I put them in when my skimmer was turned off. The next morning my skimmer kicked on, because I only run it 6 hours a day, and basically something on these kicked my skimmer off into overdrive. And what happened was this bucket here which it normally exits out to, overflowed. And what caused me to, well, what alerted me to that was the fact that I could hear my auto top off going, and the auto top off was running for quite a while, and I was thinking to myself, well, hang on, how has this been on for so long? So I came downstairs, and sure enough, there was a nice big puddle of water forming here, and yeah, that was basically it. So I shut off the skimmer, mopped up, did a water change, checked my salinity, because obviously my calc in the auto top off would have raised the pH, the alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, all would have gone up, the salinity would have gone down, so it's potentially a very bad combination there. So I did it immediately. Luckily, I had 30 gallons of freshly mixed salt water on hand, so I did a water change, and I then turned my skimmer back on and connected it up to this 5 gallon, and this is the amount of water that it decided that it needed to get rid of before everything was back to normal. So I checked all my parameters and everything was back to normal, so luckily, crisis averted. I can't help but think though, you know, if I wasn't here, you know, holy crap, that would have been horrendous. That could have been game over for me, unfortunately. So it just got me to thinking, well, what could I have done to have avoided that? And sure enough, a good place that I could have started would have been with the Neptune Apex leak detectors, and I could have, you know, had that set up, installed, and programmed to at least turn the skimmer off, or the return pump at the very least. So that would have been, you know, and set an alert for me. Luckily, I was home, but if I hadn't been home, I wouldn't have been any the wiser. And there's nothing that digital aquatics provide that would have come even close to that. So, yeah, more motivation and another reason for me to get this tank moved so I can get the Apex set up, because yeah, as I said, if I didn't work from home, I would be making a very different video today, I think. Looking down underneath, I just wanted to show you guys my refugium, because I seem to spend quite a bit of time staring at it, and I know you guys might not find this very interesting, but I do these updates not only for yourselves, but also for myself too, for historical purposes. And I have definitely reached my goal with regards to what I wanted when I set up this refugium, and that was nutrient export, and I wanted a place for copepods to grow, because I really want to get that holy grail of fish. Well, it's the holy grail of fish to me, and that is the blue mandarin. So I really want to get that fish so badly, but I don't want to have one that's I'm going to struggle with to keep, or that's not going to be a good eater or anything like that. So this is one of the main reasons why I've done this refugium, and that is I wanted a place to grow pods. So they're probably not going to show up on this video, but you can see on the glass, every little speck that you're looking at, those are all pods. They are everywhere, and they are amazing. Well, I guess they're not really that amazing, but to me they're amazing. It's a good sign to me anyway, of a healthy tank, a healthy refugium, healthy ecosystem, and I'm just really happy, to be honest. I'm really happy that I've been able to pull this off as my first reef tank. So moving forward, I have the tape marked out for the new tank. I finally managed to wear down my wife with regards to moving the tank. I'm hopefully going to have a hole put in the wall in the next couple of weeks, next 2 weeks hopefully, and then we'll be able to get the equipment mounted on the walls here. So we're going to put we're going to do basically we're going to do two backboards. One will be for the auto top off, the Apex, and the MP40s, and then another backboard will be for the surge protectors, the electrical components for the radions, and then my auto top off. I'm sorry, not auto top off. RODI components and things like that, and the auto top off components as well, so far as the pumps and the heaters as well. So really looking forward to getting that done. I noticed that my wife stuck some hangers in here as a little reminder that this is a closet. I don't think those hangers are going to be here in a couple of weeks' time, to be honest, but we'll see. I think that's a bit optimistic of her. But yeah, apparently my wife is also slightly passive aggressive as well. I added the 150 gallon RODI upgrade kit. A couple reasons was I just wanted to be as efficient as possible with my water making, and also because I have the drain line connected up to the sink in the kitchen, or under the sink, when this is turned on, there's a constant gurgling of the water draining in there, and with the 75 gallon per day membrane, that would go on for quite some time, filling up this container and the other one. So this way it just, you know, cuts it in half basically for us, so that's kind of nice. More news coming over here. This is my new quarantine tank, which I'll be setting up upstairs in my office. I really miss having a tank in my office, so I thought the quarantine tank would be a good thing to have. It allows me to keep an eye on the fish and things like that. So this is a 29 gallon. It's 30 inches by 13 by 12. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I just know it's a 29 gallon. So I've got a nice stand for it. I'll do a separate video on my quarantine tank when I get some fish in there and the components for it. But I bought a new filter, new heaters, new stand, new hood, just some basic lights, nothing too fancy. But it should do the job nicely, and it'll sit nicely in the office, unlike the other one that caused a bit of a rust issue that we weren't aware of until we moved the cabinet that it was sitting on, which was actually a metal cabinet. When we lifted up the cabinet, there was a great big huge rust stain in the white carpet, so needless to say, I got into a bit of trouble for that. But I was able to, you know, because of that, I was able to just go out and justify buying a cabinet and a proper tank. The reason why I went with the 30 gallon as well is because I'm going to be having some larger fish going in now, or schools of fish. So I'm not going to be adding that many more fish, but they're going to be larger. And then what I'd like to do is turn this tank into a possibly an anemone frag tank. We'll see. That's going to be, I'm going to basically give that to my wife, I think, because she's wanted to do something like that where we could try and see if we could make some money. I don't know, we'll see. But primarily, first and foremost, it's going to be a quarantine tank for the next 6 months or so, and then we'll go from there to see how things progress. Well, that's basically it, guys. The next time you see me, I will be showing you how I'm going to move this tank over here. It's going to suck, but it needs to be done, and you guys convinced me, and I'm really looking forward to getting started on that. So thanks for watching. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and New Year's, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Thanks, bye.